Hi, I'm John, and today I'm going to be planting some strawberry plants. Now, this is the first step, I guess, to a bit of a larger project I've been working on. As I've spoke about in previous videos, I wanted to make a bit of a small kind of berry farm and get a lot of blueberries and raspberries and of course strawberries. Where I live at the moment, it has been extremely wet recently. We've had really major flooding the past week or so, and it's been putting me off for a while. So I'm going to start today with the strawberries. I've got a delivery of all my strawberries and some of my blueberries, and I'm going to start by just potting my 3 different varieties of strawberries into these nice large pots. In these 3 pots, I've put a little bit of sand and a mixture of kind of some soil on the bottom just to make sure that the pots are fairly well draining before I put a potting mix in. Now, strawberry plants are great to grow in pots. You can grow them in the ground, but strawberry plants are only quite small, and it can actually be better to grow them in pots sometimes so that slugs and different animals don't come and eat the fruits, and also the fruits, you don't want them laying on them in the mud or on the ground because they can easily start to rot. Now, as I said, I have 3 different varieties and 4 of each, so these pots are perfect size to put 4 strawberries in each. So I'm going to start here with my pots. I've sorted these into their varieties, so 1 variety per pot, and I'm just going to fill these pots about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way with this nice good quality potting mix. Now, if you're going to be growing strawberries in pots like I am, you need to remember that they can dry out really quickly when it's warm, and just remember when the growing season and when it's dry, just to water them fairly frequently. So basically all I'm going to do here is slip these right out of their little nursery containers. I want to pot them with the crown facing out so they go over the edge of the pot, and this means again they won't rot and they'll grow really nicely and your strawberries won't have blemishes or anything on them. So I'm just going to break the roots very gently and just I should be wearing gloves, but I just need to wash my hands really well afterwards. I'm just going to place them in, and it's important as well to plant them to the same height that they were in their nursery pots. It's good to just remove any dead leaves while you're at this. Now, if you guys are interested in these different varieties, I will type out what these nursery pots say in the description below. So some might ask, well, I've actually chosen different varieties. It's very important to choose different varieties in either fruit trees or plants, because often they fruit at different times. And obviously this is important so that you have a nice long crop. But also further than that, especially with the blueberries, I'll get into that when I do the blueberry video, but blueberries can sometimes require, or at least fruit much better when there are different varieties. They cross-pollinate and they will produce much better crops, much more fruit, and just be better. Alright, so we're planting our strawberries, and it's now time, before we give this a water, to get some mulch and just put it on top of the pot. Now, mulch is really important because the mulch really helps to keep the moisture in for these strawberries, and for any plant in that matter, but also as the mulch breaks down, it really adds to keeping this nice and healthy and really promotes worms. You can see this mulch I've had sitting around for quite a while now, probably about 6 months, and it is becoming nice and broken down and perfect, and it's full of worms. Really good for healthy growing plants. Now just remember too, we don't want to cover any of that growth of the strawberries. If we bury them deeper with the mulch or the soil than what they were in their nursery pots, they can very easily rot, and we don't want that. They can easily die. Now, where I am in Australia, just north of Sydney, it is actually the middle of winter, and I know for most people you probably wouldn't be planting strawberries at this time of year, but for us we don't get frosts here at all, so we should be pretty safe until spring. But as we can see, some of these plants, this variety here, the Sugarbaby it's called, is actually already flowering, and those will obviously turn into strawberries. So it's very exciting. Alright, so now that these are nicely watered in, I'm going to find a nice sunny position for these strawberries. Now these strawberries will grow best in a nice sunny space, and obviously too they'll promote better growth and better tasting and bigger strawberries. Now, once these have been growing for a little while, they'll get bigger and start to grow over the edge. The potting mix has quite a bit of fertilizer in it, so I'm not going to give any more fertilizer for now, but I'd say give it a couple of months. Once these start growing, producing fruit, I like to give these some liquid fertilizer. So I just mix it up in my watering can, give it a good watering in over the top, and yeah, these should be producing some nice strawberries soon, and I'll give you guys some updates in the coming months. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.